Hello, archive as well as stream. You're important too. You're probably me or Blue Jay.
Let me. Um, I don't remember a lot, but I don't really want to take it from anybody.
Give it a spin. We'll back you up.
Let me think. Let me power on my brain. Let me take a sip of
Absolutely.
my Red Bull.
You got
You
it.
got
You
this,
got it.
Joey.
I will join you with some delicious Dr. Pepper cherry zero sugar.
And let me
Hey.
I will
fire up
join
my
you.
last two remaining neurons.
You should at least have 3.
There's two, and his name is Alvin and Jordan.
That's fun.
I thought
Not
if we were
Simon
going
Theodore.
with...
No, Theodore died in the
Sorry.
second grade when he had to learn math.
Ah, shit.
He's just a chunky little guy.
Okay, so last session we ran a gauntlet through the streets of. Oh man, what was the name of the planet? I don't even remember.
The Blackwake, I think.
The Blackwake.
Station.
You're right. That was a
Yeah.
test he passed.
Thank you.
As we were running the gauntlet, because we were wanted fugitives of the arena for our arena, what's it called? Affairs, alliteration. We bumped into quite a few characters who wanted the bounty for themselves. As we made our way through the streets, let's see, we were being guided by the captain who told us to get down to the docks. Somebody robbed a bar.
Ariana.
Right. They robbed a bar and we lit a Molotov cocktail.
Believe that
We-
was thwarted by Ramiel.
Yes, we were attempting to light a Molotov cocktail.
Booker was planning to cover our trail with some fire.
Yes.
And Ramiel doesn't like burning things, so we didn't do that.
Correct.
It's nothing I did. Oh my
They
god.
hate fun. They hate fun
You
and
know-
they hate destruction.
you know,
They're
Next
very
time
by
you
the
should've
Some
just
rules.
way
let
I
everybody
wish you
run.
did it so
Whatever.
the DM would have fucking trapped us in that place, because that would have just like iced the whole fucking cake on top of everything.
Anyways, as we made our way through the building, register in hand, we came upon the docks to meet the Federation.
Yes.
Yes. And there were 5 of them, I want to say.
I think there was 4.
4 of them. We came upon our ship that was tethered to the dock. They put a boot on our ship. And my character, who had his dead brother in his arms, was making his way to the ship, held a person. Ramiel also held a person, but not with our physical abilities, with our mental ones. Then it all just kind of goes black from there. I remember
Aquamarine was there with your other dead brother's belongings because he left no physical remains as a
right,
shadow
except for
creature.
his skull.
Yes, which
I
is
think it
part
was,
of the possessions.
I think you were no longer Aquamarine, actually. I think you were Dahlia.
At the end, right when we got to the ship, there was a blast that knocked the super out of her, and by the time that she boarded, she was Dahlia, and so kept her head down for the most part, except for firing off a few shots with her fancy gauntlet to try to cover the escape.
And Ramiel and Booker were working on untethering the ship.
And
Hmm.
succeeded.
Yes, with some minor failures, but in the end, they got it
Error.
done.
It's not a
I
failure
failed
if
a
it
lot
ends
of
in
times.
success. It's just progress.
Right, right. And then we made it off that stupid planet.
Dungeon Master, I have a clarifying question. Do we have an idea that our dramatically escalating bounties were like local pirate illegal
I meant to
bounties that
ask.
would only be done by the people on that station? Or do we get the idea that they were quickly broadcasting to the Federation, these people are doing a big crime, and we are now getting like galaxy-wide 5-digit bounties?
So
Or
this
do
is
we not know that
actually
yet?
so this is actually a really good
Was there any
question
indication of this?
because this
Thank you. I'm full of 'em.
actually I Morgan, you know I enjoy every time you have questions.
Well, I like having it pointed out. Thank you.
Always. Yeah, so actually
Wasn't he
this
so smart
question
and handsome and cool?
oh gee.
Oh, gee.
Gee willikers.
Little May. Yeah, so you guys don't actually 100% know. We're gonna find out a little bit more about that
Neat.
actually today, as we get into it. It was meant to be fairly confusing, because
Copy
of
that.
everything kind of happening all at once. It was not going to be easy
Absolutely.
to decipher at all. But hopefully we're able to take the time tonight to kind of address that, and I believe Captain Zara has some words about it. I think her and Echo were able to suss out exactly what was going on behind the scenes whilst you all were running for your lives.
Understood.
Yeah, so it's a little bit of everything. So there are no really everything you said isn't 100% wrong, but it's just kind of all a little out of order. So we will clear that up here soon. All right.
So where do we find ourselves, Dungeon Master?
Well, the good news
Is it
is
another day aboard the ship? The first,
this is kind of like
first long rest after.
I think we're gonna be starting kind of like the night of. I know that a lot of you guys were planning on taking some long rests, replenishing, everything. So I will probably start there with everyone taking a little sleepy do.
Or even if you think it would be more important storytelling wise for it to be resolved before we've all had a nap, just a long rest's worth of unpacking the near escape and a harrowing recollection of things.
I mean, it's really up to you guys on how much energy is everyone still willing to expel here, narrowly escaping death and being boarded back onto the ship, because we're kind of gonna start like as we all just got back on the ship.
Yeah, I think Booker is sitting with Knox a moment to kind of figure out what he's gonna do and what we should do with the bodies and
Yes,
stuff
I
like that.
believe Dahlia was also there and had laid out Paul's possessions.
Um, yeah, is Knox doing anything or is he just kind of in shock?
He is.
Knox, friend.
Nox is grieving. Nox is on the floor, on all fours, looking over his brother's remains.
Goodness.
Booker, after we'll kind of sit there silently for a while, just so that way he's not running over to do this. But after maybe 10, 15 minutes, eventually he'll make his way over to Nox and just kind of lightly put his hand on your shoulder, and he'll just go, Nox, do you want to move him to the med bay or something?
When Booker starts moving forward, Dahlia will approach from the other side, by the other shoulder. Do you have any sort of funerary rites? Is there any way that we need to be preparing your brothers?
Nox will begin to lift up his brothers and take him to the med bay. Not a word
Mm-hmm.
will be said.
I'll share a look with Booker, and sort of let you decide or kind of glance at Knox walking away and wordlessly ask if we should follow.
Booker will just go, I'm gonna follow. If you don't
Right
want
behind.
to, I can. Okay. And he'll just quietly follow after Nox and kind of keep somewhat of a distance as he makes his way to the med bay.
Same. Just keeps pace with Booker, a good 15, 20-ish feet behind Knox. Right? Or were you picturing like 5-ish?
Probably like 10 or so feet.
Count it.
15, 10, yeah, something like that.
How's everyone else recovering from the near escape, the hot exit?
There's only like one other person right now.
Well, okay, let me rephrase. In text beforehand, you explicitly stated that Ramiel did not care about these deaths. So, what is he making a cup of tea? What is happening?
Yeah.
Well, so if this is in the moment right after actually everything that happened, there would have probably been a moment where, after escaping, maybe like a minute or two, before he would actually honestly almost drop and would catch himself with the wall, and he really would just not say anything. He kind of just puts his hand to his head, in a way like when you have a headache or something is
Mhm,
bothering your brain holder, you know.
mhm.
And he would just kind of quietly, with like the aid of the walls of the ship, make it back to the crew quarters and
Can
kind of
I
bury
ask, is
himself.
are the signs of this distress, and I can like roll an Arcana check if you need, do they look like you used, like, pushed yourself to a oracular psychic magical limit?
Um, yes, but
Go
the
on.
and is something I cannot
There's
touch
something
upon without.
something
Can
else
I
going on.
Yeah.
can I roll for the something?
Um, I, God, what would this role be?
Arcana,
Um.
religion, medicine. What sort of condition are we
Um,
looking at here?
Message me exactly what's
that's
happening.
yeah. Uh, can I come over and just talk to you? I might
Yeah.
not type fast enough, or maybe I can. No, I'm gonna come over because also I have food in my hands, but I'm gonna take the food with me.
This is exciting. I'm excited about this. I hope it
Secrets.
ends up being an Arcana. The feat I took that I mainly took to give me bonuses to maps also gives me a bonus B4 to Arcana checks.
That's awesome.
So I as much as Dahlia has been honing in on her main hobby, Aquamarine is also really becoming this, really coming into her own as a galactic hero, even if in the moment she keeps tripping and suffering misfortune. But that's not her fault as a person. That's the dice's fault for having ones printed on them.
When you level up, do you get abilities separately for Dahlia and Aquamarine? Or it's one or the
Um,
other kind of situation?
so I have one character sheet. The
Mhm.
character that I play is Dahlia and Aquamarine. There are some abilities that they share mechanically and some that are distinct. So Aquamarine is mechanically speaking where the actual like character class level things come in. She is a like my character sheet will tell you that I am a 5th level warlock, and that is
Mhm.
Aquamarine. Um, and I have a thing that I made myself called Heroic Transformation, which has benefits and drawbacks. And significantly among the drawbacks are that when in your mundane form, you lose all weapon and armor proficiencies associated with your character, and you have 1 plus your constitution modifier hit points per level. Um,
Gotcha.
and so that is what Dahlia is. She has skill proficiencies because they are not tied to her class, but to like her background, and so that is where Dahlia's ability to do maps and these other things comes from, and then feats and things would also apply to them both the same way that skills do.
Cool.
Which is why
Hi.
in an early conversation with Aquamarine, she expressed a shared interest in maps. She's also proficient
Mhm.
in those tools. Welcome back. I heard you say hi.
Welcome back.
What verdict have we
Hello.
come to? What kind of bones can I roll, if any? If it's a big
So
secret that I have no chance, that's cool too.
we're thinking insight or arcana, but both are going to yield, whichever one you roll is going to yield a different answer should you meet the DC.
I think, yeah, in this moment, I'm gonna go with my gut. And, like, honestly, at this point, the vibes have been less than incredibly pleasant with Ramiel, and I think my instinct, if I see something going on with him, is like, what is this magically, and not is he okay? I don't think he's my friend on this ship, and I'm concerned about his powers and his weird cat, and if he has a headache, I want to know why.
That's valid.
Not the cat.
The,
Got
So
a
it's a
weird
cat
cat.
person.
yeah, sorry, I don't trust
She
it.
would know.
That's a good point.
Okay, so we're looking at an Arcana check. That is a 10 plus 4, and then I get a d4 on top of that. That's a 1 for a total of 15. That's a big 1-5.
Not quite there.
Understood. So I'm getting the idea that there is
A disturbance in the
something,
force.
yeah, something hinky is going on here, but the nature of it, whether Lucifer is draining his power because it's a horrible monster, or you used all your spell slots and are
Yeah.
adding a narrative reason for it, or some secret third thing. I don't know. Copy that.
Apologies.
Don't apologize. That's how it happens.
But yeah,
Okay.
no, he would have just retired to the crew quarters, and that would probably be it for him for the rest of the at least night.
Is copy that. What about Knox and Booker? When are they retiring, or are you kind of doing a vigil over Aaron's body in the med bay through the night?
Yeah, he's since he doesn't need sleep, he is standing over them, watching them.
Is Dr. Thorne there reacting to any of this?
Dr. Thorne is definitely here. Upon like Knox you walking in immediately, he's gonna kind of immediately like kind of take like a almost like a double take and jump back a little bit. Like, what the hell happened to you guys? Or do I want to know?
Lost a few of our number. Do you have
Well,
a place to store the deceased?
well, the stasis pods will at least preserve the bodies for now. Is there anything I guess I could do at this time? Or at least anything else?
Booker will look to Knox and he'll say, anything else we can do for you, Knox?
Nox is not listening. Nox doesn't
Okay.
even know you guys are there.
And Booker will just kind of turn back to Thorne and he'll just say, if we can just store them properly, I think that's fine for the night.
Yeah, go ahead and throw him in one of the pods. He'll be okay in there.
Booker again kind of approach Knox and kind of stand in front of him. He's still too short to catch his eye, but he'll just kind of be as in front of him as he can, and he'll just say, Knox, do you want to put him in there where he'll be safe?
As you finish your sentence, Nox begins to move towards the pods, putting one brother in each, getting them ready for their funeral, um, taking the knickknacks out of their pockets, taking one last look at them before closing the pod.
Sorry, if you're taking the knickknacks out of their pockets, are you so
Mm.
are you taking their things?
Whatever is not what's it called?
Clothes.
Yeah, like
Okay,
just getting them ready for their send
gotcha.
off.
So it's what, mask and cloak, but taking the rest?
Yeah.
Copy.
Do we and he kind of is kind of talking to the room at this point.
Mhm.
Do we have an ability to or do you want Knox to I don't know send them out in some way?
Yeah, do you he
Um
is there any way that he we need to make sure that he goes back to hell or doesn't go to hell, or whichever is good?
Or we can wait till tomorrow if
Yeah,
you don't want to do this
whatever
right
you
now.
need. They're safe there for now.
they will be given a space funeral worthy of them. We'll be sending them into a star.
Glorious. That'll be lovely.
Understood. I'll do you want me to talk to Zara about this, or do you want to do it, or
Go tell her. We will be
Right.
going to a star.
understood?
Absolutely.
Does
And she
Thorn have
just
any
kind of
reaction
gives a nod and looks at Booker like, yeah, you can do it. I encourage you to go with this plan. I'm on board.
Oh, Thornton is absolutely looking at. He's not gonna say anything, but he's definitely looking back. Like, what the fuck are they talking about?
Like, why are these people talking about changing the course of our treasure hunt to go to a star?
um Booker will kind of go up to Thorn and kind of quietly just be like, "Do we have a way to send bodies out into space?"
I mean, I guess you could send them out the airlock, but I don't know that that's necessarily a good idea. Really,
Right.
just gonna
There's
send
not
them
like a
into a free
double.
space.
Understood.
There's an airlock entrance to the pod. We could always swing out for the procession inside of my chambers.
Yeah, that would work.
We just need to talk to Zara about if it's possible to swing by a star, I guess.
We'll get that sorted. We'll make sure that this happens.
Yeah. And kind of as he's leaving the med bay, Booker will want to say more to Knox, but no, he doesn't need to hear it at this moment. So he'll just kind of like very lightly kind of pat his arm and then walk out and head in the direction of Zara.
And Dahlia will go just kind of stand at Knox's elbow, looking at the pods with him. You going to be here for a while, friend?
No answer.
She'll just sort of bop the side of her head, flick one of her ears against his upper arm, and kind of pat him on the elbow a couple times. I'll see you tomorrow. And she'll head out. And Dahlia will see if she'll seek out Starfinder, try to invite her to hang out in her space, or if Starfinder is somewhere urgent, like as we're off in space, just go hang out where she's working. If that's in the same direction as where Booker is going to find Zara, then she will scamper quickly to catch up to him on the walk through the big ship.
Yeah,
Because it would be
Zara
awkward to
has
be like
been
50 feet behind for a multiple minute
Yeah,
walk on the starship.
it's a little awkward. Yeah, no, Zara has been on the bridge the whole time, kind of sitting in her captain's chair there. Hasn't really been super vocal with anyone since you guys have been back on the ship.
Booker looks like a kid in trouble who's knows he's in trouble. As he sort of slowly makes his way over to Zara and kind of fiddling with his hands. And he just goes, Captain, are you busy?
What is it?
Look, if there's something that you need to say to us, or if you want to say it to me, the others are sort of dealing with the loss that we just had. If you need to get something off your chest or yell at us or something, I can take it.
I have nothing to say right now. We have a lot coming for us and a lot going forward. I think right now is the best time that everybody get back to at least the way things were. We've got a lot of eyes on us now. The Federation. If they can buy off civilians on a no-manned station in the middle of nowhere, there's no telling what they can do now. Who will be after us or where the next safe place is.
Do do we know why they sent it after us? I mean, we did their interrogations. We passed. We got away. Why would they send people after us?
The Federation plays games.
Real
That
quick,
is what they do. Yes.
Booker, I don't know how sharp your memory is, but the wanted poster was for Aquamarine, and the Federation knows that you travel with Dahlia. If that
Understood.
discrepancy affects your theorizing. Just wanted to point that out.
Understood. I guess it was more like, well, I guess Booker would say like I mean, technically we didn't do anything wrong on the planet. I mean, I know that some of us may have competed in uh, something less than legal fighting pits, but half of us didn't. But we were all on the posters. Was it simply because we traveled with each other? Because you all weren't on the posters either.
Part of it's not about what you did there. Part of it is. The posters are irrelevant at this point. Meant to create chaos and instill fear into all of you from the Federation. They do not know you. They don't know anything about you. And that is what scares them. They're going to continue to send every kind of person. They paid those people to die for them. Those people back there on that station, they don't care about you. They don't know anything about you. They did not care if you did nothing there. I didn't notice at first. When we got there, it seems like the Federation had already been there first. They paid them to get all of you. I don't want
Are you
anyone else
saying
on this crew to end up like some of the people that we have already lost. We have a mission. We're going to stick to it.
Are you saying that we're gonna be hunted by the Federation forever?
She's going to take a big sigh and stand up from her chair and look back at you. Kind of really look into your eyes and think about everything that's kind of been going on, and very genuinely say, if we complete our mission, The Federation won't be a problem.
Booker like swallows really hard after a beat, and he he doesn't understand that. He doesn't understand how the Federation could not be a problem, but he's just choosing in this moment to trust that because the alternative is not the life that he was hoping to reach for. Um, so he just kind of sighs and he nods. And if Zara is about to leave, he'll sort of step up again and be like, Captain, Val and Aaron, Knox wants to hold a funeral of sorts for them, and he's made a request. I'm wondering if we could honor it.
What is his request?
He is requesting to give them a proper space send-off, and hopefully, if possible, uh, if we were near a star, that would help.
Well, it's a rather tall order, but it's not impossible. Very well. I will have Starfinder chart to the nearest star.
Thank you, Captain.
She's
And
not gonna say anything, but she is just gonna excuse herself to her office.
yeah, after that, Booker will leave the bridge and kind of make his way back to the crew quarters. How's Ren doing when he shows up?
Ren looks a little crazy right now. I think he's a little shook up with everything that's been going on. He's gonna immediately like jump up and like run to you to hug you. Like, oh my god, holy shit, you're alive?
When Ren like hugs Booker, he's like arms sort of freeze and his eyes go really wide and he's a little out of it for a second before he looks back up at him and he just says, yeah, no, I'm good. I I'm so glad you didn't come with us. It was
No reaction to the potty mouth?
oh I don't think he heard him, to be honest. I think he was so hung up on the hug he did not hear that. But he'd been like, no, so glad you didn't come with us. I'm sorry I didn't get you any clothes, but hopefully the next time I can find you something.
Yeah, I mean, the clothes is one thing, but I was more worried that something happened to you after I heard about what happened. I thought that you know, something worse happened.
Booker looks like very emotional for just like a split second, like it's like a flicker of just like somebody like was really worried about him
All
for a
right, who's
moment,
cutting
and then
onions?
he kind of comes back to himself and he goes, um, uh, I appreciate that, but no, I'm fine. Um I'm a tough bastard to put down, so you don't gotta worry about me. Are you okay?
Yeah, Starfinder told me to stay on the ship, and she told me to hide in case anything happened. But nobody came on the ship. I didn't think it would get that bad.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, listen to stuff on her. She's smart. So I'm glad you stayed. But hopefully the next spot we go to will be a little little safer so you can get off for a little while.
Well, so what happens now? I mean, do we just
Um,
keep going?
well, now we don't know quite yet. We're going to uh, honor our dead and keep moving forward, and we'll kind of readjusting the plan at the moment. So, Captain is figuring that out at this particular moment. So, hopefully tomorrow things will be a little bit more clear.
You know, is it kind of dumb that I was actually kind of hoping to get some new clothes?
No, I'm really bummed I couldn't get you something. But next place, as long as there's nobody shooting at us or stabbing at us or anything like that, we will find you something.
Well, I, I appreciate that you tried. That's more than most people have done for me.
Of
And
course, man.
also that you didn't die.
No, I don't plan on to. Don't plan on doing so anytime soon.
He's kind of take a second to really just like take in everything that's been going on and really sit there and think for a second before he just kind of and you're sure that we're gonna be okay, right? We'll still be safe.
He will kind of take a breath and step closer and really look him in the eyes, and he'll tell him, "Listen, Ren, you're a smart kid. You've seen so much in your life. Things will be dangerous. Things will not always go as planned. But we will make it safe, okay?
Yeah, I guess so.
I'll let you get some rest, okay?"
All right. I don't know if I can sleep at this point, but you're probably right. Probably a good idea.
Why don't you sleep in one of the real bunks and not on the floor? That might help.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe I'll try it out for the night.
Good. And he'll kind of just sort of pat Ren's shoulder, and unless he seems like he wants anything else, he'll walk away and he'll make his way towards Ramiel's little tent area. Um, and as he does, there's not really anything for him to knock on, so he'll just kind of out loud go, "Knock, knock."
Um, there wouldn't be a response if like you could listen if there listening wise if it sounds like he's just out cold like sleeping um there just wouldn't be much from him. If anything, I think what would catch the attention would be Lucifer
Do I
to
hear
the sound.
Lucifer?
Yeah, you probably hear him like shifting around in what would be Ramiel's grasp and kind of eventually a thump on the ground probably from him crawling out of the bed.
Booker will very, I guess shyly, would just sort of like peek in, not like step inside, but just kind of peek in to see if he sees if Ramiel's asleep or not.
Yeah, he is absolutely like just gone. Kind of curled up a bit, in more of a fetal position, but like he's he's conked out.
Do I see Lucifer?
Lucifer probably slipped out of the bed when
I didn't
he
see him.
heard you.
He ran away.
Yeah, he kind of hit the ground, which was the audible thunk. Um,
uh, uh, yeah, if I don't see Lucifer, um, Booker will just kind of take a moment and decide he's not going to wake him up. Um, and if there's like a is Ramiel just kind of like laying in the bed, like went right out to sleep?
yeah, in a sense, it's like um it looks like he just kind of laid himself down and then did curl up. Like his hands probably would have been in a kind of position that looked like he was holding on to something, which could probably be inferred that it was Lucifer. Um, but yeah, there's like there wouldn't have been any kind of even like blanket attempt. Usually he would remove his coat, but even in this moment, like he just it seems like after the events of everything was just completely worn out to the point that he himself could not really even stay awake much longer.
Yeah. Um, Standing there for a moment, Booker will just pick up the nearest blanket and kind of toss it over Ramiel, um, and just kind of go, "Good night," and turn back around and close the tent and make his way to bed. And when he's laying in bed, he will have a hard time sleeping at first and begin sort of, if he has any sort of paper or anything, he'll just kind of start writing something down before he goes to sleep.
As you all settle into the quarters, you're able to recognize that one of the bunk beds is empty because Aaron and Val were bunkmates.
Yeah. He's so sad.
What's Booker writing?
I think he's writing what he wants to say. Um, if they're holding a funeral.
Understood.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
Yeah.
Is Dahlia able to meet up with Starfinder then?
Yeah. Starfinder can be found in her quarters, where she's actively trying to chart out the best place to the best nearest star that's not too far out of the way.
Yeah, I are her quarters nice, or would it be like worth the brief jaunt to my pod for a massive quality of life improvement on the hang?
Yeah, it's not great. Not to say that
So
Starfinder
I
is not that
yeah, I
she's
will
like
catch.
a messy person, but she does have quite a bit of stuff
She has
everywhere.
she has many less hundreds of credits spent on her belongings, which are the size of what? Like, does she have a? Is it like a desk and a bunk, or does she have like a room with? Like, how
Yeah,
nice are her
she
quarters?
has a bunk there. Because they all reside typically in the officers' quarters. They each have their own bunks and stuff like that, and their own trunks. It's very similar to the crew quarters, to be honest with you. It's not
Oh,
super
yeah,
crazy.
no. Oh
Um,
gosh. Bunks and trunks? No. I find her and then I take her to my quarters where I feel like if I was going straight there, while Booker was going to the captain, we might have already met up by the time she got the request from the captain to chart the course. Does that seem like a reasonable assumption?
Yeah.
Which is very, very funny because the first thing I was going to tell her, which I guess would have happened before then, was to ask if they could hang out and chart a course and look for stars and find a place to veer off to or navigate together and do this sort of like map work thing
Mm-hmm.
together. And then having the captain's message come in on the tail end after that feels auspicious in that moment.
Yeah. Okay. Because she
So
no
yeah.
doubt would accept your help at this current moment in time, just because of everything that's kind of been going on right now. I think she's not gonna outwardly like express how she's feeling about everything. Uh, it's but there is going to be a very clear, almost like a need for someone else's presence at this time. So she'll be very, she won't say it outright, but she'll be very grateful of your company.
Yeah. I definitely think that Dahlia is not talking like it is mostly just doing the map in each other's company.
Yeah, yeah,
Um yeah. So do I roll dice to chart a good course or
yeah. You can use your
fantastic. Cartographer schools. Oh no.
absolutely. Oh no.
I thought that was Aquamarine's number. Dahlia, what are you doing? Okay, so it's a natural 1. It's a 3 on the D4 bonus for a total of 4, and then her bonus to map skills now that she's level 5. Uh uh yeah, Dahlia doesn't have a lot of good suggestions here, and I think I have a yeah, not really much to bring to the table. All Dahlia can think is like I don't know if there were any meaningful or personal stars or if we should be looking for one that has like a lower gravitational pull so we can get closer safely or if we should be looking for one that like burns in a particular way or is of a particular age um and I think she is just having a lot of trouble charting a good course. Like she is very clearly a hobbyist who is trying to blend sentimentality with maps and not a person whose job it is to chart courses the way that Starfinder is. And so she doesn't necessarily even help a lot, but she combines all of her nice computers and her map droid with whatever tools Star has on her to facilitate her charting a course without helping much.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like I said, she's acknowledging how much you're willing to help here, and it's enough for her to feel still herself in working on this. So she's actually feeling pretty good. I rolled a natural 19. So we're getting there.
Amazing.
We've got a divisive plan here on where we're headed next. So she feels pretty good about it. It's probably for the best that you're not actually doing a whole lot of speaking during this time, because I fear that if you were to really get into anything, it may impede Starfinder's work, as
Yeah,
she is a very
I
much emotional individual.
I think it's I'm picturing like over an hour of working together in silence,
Mm-hmm.
but like once the course is charted and they just kind of sit together in silence with their tools around them or starting to put them away and set the computers to other modes, um, Dahlia will just mutter, sad about Val. We're missing our third cartographer.
Yeah, it's almost not the same without him here. Feels like something is off.
Would you, you know, he he used to come by late at night for sign language lessons, and so I would find myself up in the wee hours, somewhere midnight to 4 in the morning, and my between that and my physiology facilitating several bouts of rest throughout the night, I won't be able to sleep tonight, I think, and with Val gone, the night will be very lonely. Um, would you be willing to spend the night?
Oh, um, no one's ever asked me that before. Yeah,
I sometimes
yeah.
have sleepovers with Eliora, but
Oh,
I believe
this is a
she's
regular thing that you do.
with, well, yes. Eliora has these magical sleep crystals, and I have been availing myself of them in exchange for her having another corner of my very large bed.
Well, do you think she'd share them?
Oh, I don't know where she is tonight. She's not in my chambers, so I have to imagine that she's been tuckered out and went back to her regular quarters for the night. I can't account for her location. I have to assume that.
Right, right. Yeah. Well, yeah, I think I'll take you up on that. I just don't know that I may sleep very well by myself. It'll probably be
You
good. It's
don't
like a sleepover, right?
exactly. I don't I was, if I can be totally honest, very surprised by the state of the officers' quarters. I assumed that they would have some sort of leg up on the general racks of beds. Um, have you ever seen the captain's quarters? Do you know how their quality holds up compared to mine, or if this is the place to be on the ship?
Well, I mean, not very many of us go in the captain's quarters, so not really many of us even really know what's in there. But
Hmm.
I imagine it probably looks like everybody else's.
Well, then lucky you are to be getting a night in the best bed on the Eclipse.
Yeah, it sounds like it. What's it made of?
Where? What? Oh, something expensive. The most expensive thing they had on. It was basically the one department store on the station on this strange planet. So it was just, the only premium sort of bed. But I've been doing what I can to accentuate it with the different fabrics and things that I've collected, and some light magical tricks from the galactic hero to furnish the environment and such.
Oh, wow. I guess that probably comes in handy.
Oh, yes. She's the only reason I felt comfortable coming out into the stars. Or becoming an artisan in the first place. If I didn't have her in my back pocket, I'd need a much less independent sense of employment. I'm rather impeded compared to a number of our allies out there.
I don't think that's a good way to look at yourself. I think you're a rather adequate asset for most of us here.
Oh, I mean, sure, sure. Let me be clear. I don't mean to knock my wit or my perseverance or my ability to cultivate a comfortable environment and make friends. I just mean that, I can't punch things very hard nor accurately fire a weapon or turn my body into a weapon in the way that the other treasure hunters in the captain's employ can,
Yeah,
or the
I
way
get that.
a Marine can.
I'm still appreciative. I've seen what you can do out there with Aquamarine. I think that you guys are a really good team.
Sure, but again, like the team is the person wearing the belt and the warrior inside it. We don't need to pretend that there's something that I bring to the table that she doesn't. She's great. That's the point.
Oh, wow, that's crazy. So you guys don't exist at the same time?
Not as such, no. We share a vessel. Normally, it's me in here, but if I draw her out, she inhabits it, and it gains her powers and assumes her stature.
Wow, that's huh. I guess I never really realized that. But now that you mention it, definitely had never seen you guys in the same room together, so that would make
Yeah.
sense.
You asked earlier if the sleepovers were a regular occurrence. Uh, why did you want to sleep over more than just tonight?
Well, I don't sleep a lot, I'll be honest, most of the time, but it would be nice.
What's your sleep like? How do your people rest?
Well, we don't require as much sleep as most people. I can I can go quite a few days without sleeping, which is actually pretty cool. It lets me do more work, but and Zara really likes when I do more work, but I think it would be nice if I didn't feel like I needed to only sleep when I need to sleep. So, because I'll be honest, most of the time when I do have to force myself to sleep, it's not pleasant. I just don't
What What do you
feel
mean?
comfortable, if that's a way to describe it.
How do you
It
mean?
I've been a part of the ship and a part of the crew for a while now, and we've done a lot of crazy stuff. So most things don't really phase me. At least, that's at least how what I tell myself anyways. But most of the time having to force yourself to lay there and think about everything is just kind of a lot. Makes the sleeping part really hard though.
Yeah. Well, I've certainly found that sharing a sleeping space with someone can help with problems like that in my own sort of uh personal experience. There's um there's a lot to deal with, and yeah, like I said earlier, and for a lot of reasons, I'm glad to not be alone tonight.
And I as well.
Can I show you the star that Aquamarine is powered by?
Oh, yeah, of course. I would love to see
I think this moment is like they're settled into bed, they're in their pajamas.
that.
I feel like unlike with Eliora, they are sleeping on the same side of the bed just so that they can have that like nearby body presence to have the distraction from the listening to nothing and being there with nothing but your thoughts. And she just props her map droid up on the tripod, like between them in the space between them in bed. And it starts to cast these constellations into the sky, into this whole space around her, like curtained awning bedroom area. Um, this is Asinonyx 24. These charts are from about 400 years ago. Uh, less than 50 years after this star will start to go supernova, and the warlocks of the cult of Setlia will capture it in that moment. And she waves her paw through the air, and the supernova begins to erupt across the space above them. And then all of a sudden it blinks out of existence. Um, the warlocks who captured the star would be billions of times infinitesimally too small to be captured by these kinds of maps, and so it looks like it simply blips out of existence.
Dang.
And then she just rewinds it a little bit to the moments when it is this burning hot blue, specific pattern of colors all erupting around her. Let me see. Specifically, the colors are, it is written here. It is this dark at the center, expanding blue and green outward, with a violet ring that grows dim and faint to a nightlight, but remains a projection and just hangs out, giving like a very, very dim violet with those soft other tinged colors light over the bed as they try to get some sleep. But yeah, that's yeah.
I think that as you guys are finally just like fully settled in, and because during the demonstration, Starfinder is going to be completely like wide eyed and wowed. Um, because this is technically for her something that she's never really got the chance to fully study. So it's pretty sick for her on her part. But as you guys lay there, you find that she has no problem falling fast asleep.
That's nice.
That is nice.
Yeah, Dahlia takes about 8 hours of sleep across about 12 to 13 hours of time, waking up several times intermittently, uh, softly listening to music and reading, as she just like takes several intermittent naps and sleeps more and has just this oscillating sleep cycle.
Awesome. I think we all needed that.
What?
Just a good sleep, you know?
Yes. I'm sure Knox had a great night.
Knox, did you have a good night?
I had a
Yeah,
night.
Knox, what happened?
I had a night.
I think the next day, Dahlia would go, assuming we don't cross paths with like an announcement or something, the next day, whenever she was awake for the day after her long rest, she would head toward the med bay unless she crosses paths with him earlier. If anyone else, she would send out feelers to I guess Ramiel and Booker, as well as was refresh my memory if Knox was close with any of the officers on the ship, or if Starfinder is still there when I'm not finished with my long rest for like 4 more hours after she's had her solid 8.
Um, she's probably still there, to be honest with you.
Yeah, if she wants to tag along to try to check on Knox, or if Booker or Ramiel want to meet her on the way, she's gonna go do that.
I think I think after, do we know if we're near the? Did we get any sense that we were getting to the star today to hold the funeral, or um, did we get any? Or I guess Booker could go ask the captain what it was looking like, or Starfinder if she's there.
Starfinder, she's gonna let everyone know that it's probably gonna be about 2 days to get there.
Okay. Then, yeah, I guess getting up, he would. Yeah, he'll follow Dahlia, um, to go check in on Knox if he's still standing in the med bay.
Knox, are you in here?
From what you can tell, Nox has not moved at all.
Hey, friend. We're about 2 days out. Are there any preparations that we need to make besides proximity and capability to launch? Did they keep any faith? Are there any rites that need to be prepared or performed? Is there anything that needs to be done about Val not having dissipating?
No. Just let me know when we get to the star.
Sure.
Sorry, what was that?
He was just gonna say sure.
Oh. Can I make an insight check to see if, like, between your family all having passed away yesterday and you being a pseudo-immortal, nearly 900-year-old robot, like, is leaving you alone for 48 hours to watch you stare at your brother's remains, like, Catgirl to robot, what are the vibes here? Like, is that normal for a warrior monk robot, or is that a concerning behavior? Because I could see it being one way or the other, and I don't want to make any assumptions. I don't want to force you to act if you're just going to mourn there contemplatively for a few days. Insight check wise, we're looking at a modified 20.
This
Do I
is he's following his soldier's duty of never leaving the fallen. So this is normal, but it's not necessary for him anymore.
understood?
I think honestly Booker would probably sort of step up to Dahlia, um, as a militant monk himself, and he would just kind of say, um, I think it's just best we leave him be until we can hold some sort of funeral or something like that.
If you think it's best. Right
He's in
then.
grief and in shock. It's
Yes.
yeah.
She'll just reach for your hand and let you lead her out.
Yeah, and it'll kind of be the same thing where like he wants to say something and knows that it's not going to do any good at this current moment in time. So he has kind of a hard time pulling away from Knox and kind of walks out with Dahlia. And I think as the two of them walk out, Booker was sort of slow and sort of pull Dahlia back and look at her and say, "How are you doing?"
I'm real sad. I mean, I really liked Val. He I was really hoping I'd get more of a chance to know Aaron. I just the just the other night I'd been putting together a list of things to go over with him. So I feel a bit displaced, and I feel I've not. This is my first adventure. These are the first people I've lost. So it's strange. I don't quite I don't I don't really know what to feel, how to feel. That
Booker,
it feels very disable. I don't.
he was sort of, there's this kind of more stoic look on his face that isn't very common with him. It's much more sort of serious, but there's still a level of empathy there, and he kind of squeezes your hand and he says, "That's perfectly normal, Dahlia. If it's the first time you've ever lost anyone, it's you don't know what to feel at first, and all you can do is just feel whatever it is. Do you need something?"
I can't imagine I'm going to want very much time to myself uh for the next couple of days. So if you're willing to take a rotation of putting up with my company along with nights that I spend with Eliora or time over maps with Starfinder, how before I petition you for chunks of your time to deal with my sadness, how are you? How did you? Um, I'm sorry. Can you above board? Can you
Yeah,
remind me? I Does Dahlia know about Booker's experience in pit fighting? I don't think so.
I think what, because I do remember Dahlia asked him early on, um, what, like, if he, there was a question that resembled something about him being a boxer. I don't
Mhm.
think it applied to him being a criminal boxer. Like, I don't think that element was involved.
Is this and if it would be difficult to read now, then maybe at some point before you took on this extra like stoic nurturing side, um was there any evidence that there was like were you at all particularly shaken by specifically the fact that like we lost people and that those people
Like, that people died doing that.
yeah, like
Yeah.
was there anything about that that like brought anything back for you, or does having the bounties like was there anything that looks like it shook you before you toughened up that Dahlia would be trying to pry for?
I would say, um, correct me if I'm wrong, DM, in the fights that Booker was a part of, people weren't killed, or it wasn't like a common thing. It was more like a
Not
sport.
necessarily, no. It was mostly for sport.
Yeah, okay. Um, then I think he probably was. You probably didn't read it in this moment, but possibly like when it all happened, or like right after it happened, there probably was a level of shakenness, like how, like I think he knew that that was a possibility that could happen, but it was still a little like unnerving to see it happen. So I think that element probably shook him, but I think I mean, he is sad, obviously, that we've lost two of our party members, but I think he's also concerned about, although the captain has sort of calmed it down a bit, but I think he's also concerned about these bounties that we've been told about. Um, so I think there was like an element of where he's a little bit scattered at this moment, that he does sort of calm, once Dahlia sort of begins opening up to him about how she's feeling, and he's like sort of makes himself a more of a touchstone for her.
Yeah, what about you? How are you doing? Before I petition you for your time.
Oh, I'm all right. I'm sad too, just like you are. But I think right now is this is not a. I, the first time you lose someone is really hard, and I know that. And this current time, I think I'm just going through the motions. But
You've
I am
lost
well off.
people before. It sounds like a lot. If you're just going through the motions at this point, or
I have before. Uh,
poor man.
yeah, I mean, it's complicated, but
I know a thing or two about complicated, especially if it's a militant religious upbringing. Do you want to talk about it?
I think he's like he's very kind of shaken up by the fact that you're asking him questions. Like that he wasn't really expecting that. Um, not like that you're invading his privacy, but like that you are wanting to get him to talk about that stuff. Um, and he quickly sort of shakes that thought away, and he goes, "No, I'm okay. You don't worry about me. Um, I think I am more than happy to. I don't need to put up with you, Dahlia, but you can put up with my company if you want it."
I don't have to put up with you either.
Um, I'm sorry that all this has been so scary and intense for you.
Yes, I'm hoping that the treasure at the end of this journey will allow me to retire to peace for the rest of my days. I've no idea how large it's going to be, actually. I don't know if it's going to be a treasure that's basically going to boil down to we were able to get Aquamarine a nicer spear, and now you have to keep treasure hunting for the rest of your mortal life. Or if we're talking a cluster of islands off somewhere. I don't know.
From what the captain has told me, whatever this is, you would have to ask her some more clarifying questions. She couldn't answer all of them for me, but she told me whatever it is, we can practically choose whatever life we want.
Uh, can you remind me, is Booker's surname Casey?
Correct.
What kind of life do you want, Mr. Casey?
Um, I want something. I want something where I can do something good and worthwhile.
Really? Like
I
like a spacefaring hero or like an orphanage?
I don't know, to be honest. When I left Ashkara, I thought I could find something better outside of the Ashian Flame, and I'm realizing over the past few years that I didn't, and it just sort of got worse. And I'm hoping that possibly at the end of all this, I can sort of clear myself and redeem myself in a way that I can go back and do something important again.
Go back? Do you mean to the Ashen Flame?
That's the only place I ever felt like I had a purpose.
You've been amazing here.
I don't know about that. I get handed on my ass constantly, but I appreciate that.
Very first adventure we went on, you were the only fellow who followed me into the vents.
That was because we were the only ones that could fit.
Sure. But do you think Ramiel would have followed me into the vents if he were the size that we are?
No, maybe eventually.
So accept the
Hopefully.
compliment, friend. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're still here.
I'm really glad you're here too, Dahlia. And I think he'll just like kind of hold your hand a moment, and then it'll be very foreign to him, but he'll feel like he should. Especially after Ren, he will sort of pull you in and hug you.
She'll absolutely hug you back, and you can just, like, one of her tails accompanies each of her arms, and you just get this big, full embrace.
Yeah, I think Booker, well, he'll just kind of hug you, and then eventually he'll feel like this is not something he really does, so he's not really sure how long he should stay there. So after a moment, he'll eventually pull away, and I'll just go, "Do you want my company right now or later?"
That sounds lovely. If you've
And
nothing else to do for the next while. I understand that I'm the only one who's negotiated her chores away on the ship.
that's true. I should probably. I guess somebody should pick up.
What do you do on the ship again? I feel like I've not memorized everyone's jobs. I do more interfacing with them when they're free.
It's for the most part. I think I'm mostly just assisting Gizmo, but I don't think he notices I'm there.
Hmm.
Most of the time.
If I
But
followed you along and is there some countertop or something where I can sit and kick my feet from? Would I be in the
yeah,
way?
no, I think you'd be all right. But just be careful where you sit.
Copy.
Um, yeah, and then I think I guess for his chore for the day, he'll take Dahlia with him and go down and see if Gizmo needs any help. And try to keep Dahlia from getting injured by anything Gizmo has going on down there.
Oh yeah, she's definitely very careful. Her ears and her tails are going nuts.
Yeah, Gizmo's got some stuff. He's been doing some general repairs and things like that, recovering from, of course, our great departure. That was very hasty. Um, he's gonna seem kind of, I don't want to use the word bothered by you guys being there, but more so like he's got a lot of tasks, small tasks that he's gonna give to you while you're there. Whether
Would the mending cantrip help in these tasks?
mending?
Yes.
Yes, it would.
Dahlia will surprise herself and help.
I was actually just about to ask. I was like, is Dahlia gonna do anything if given a task, or? But yeah,
She seems to be like she's not going off and doing her own things. She's definitely just like loitering in Booker's space, but like while in Booker's space, if whatever he's doing can be aided by just like her hands laying on it and it sort of righting itself, as though with a will and access to just filament and power of its own. She just like presses her fingers against things and wills them to be fixed.
yeah, you're definitely gonna get like a huh. Would you look at that? Gizmo, like being absolutely baffled by you using magic in this way. Not too often we get to see stuff like that. Well, just with the original crew that was here.
Are none of the officers capable of performing magic?
No, it's not that necessarily. It's using the magic for, well, anything but selfish or combat reasons. Not too many people are keen on keeping the ship upright as they should.
A vast swath of my existence is dedicated to uplifting the quality of life around me. So, you know, um, happy to help.
Well, that's definitely something that I would admire, which is not too often these days I do that. With little hands on his hips.
I
Little
think Booker
mustache
will lean
furrow.
over to Dahlia at some point and just be like, "Be careful, else he's gonna ask you to keep coming down here."
Oh, no. Don't worry. I'll refuse. No, you're very lucky to have me today. For your whole shift, how long are you here? 8 hours?
I don't know how long am I usually here for? Damn.
I mean, only a couple hours, however long. It doesn't have to be like the whole day or anything like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think at the end, uh, is Nox and Ramiel, are they doing anything during any of this?
Yeah, what's the next day like for them? I imagine the vigil continues for Nox.
Yeah, where exactly is Nox?
In the mid bay, I think.
I'm just standing in front of the pods. Just in the med bay.
Oof. Yeah, I mean, I think Ramiel probably would have made his way to the med bay, but then at the sight of Nox still being there, turn himself around, kind of redirect himself, and then probably just head into the mess hall. Um, and probably cook, but not a large quantity.
Something just for himself.
As, as one does. Um, yeah, unfortunately, a lot of what he would do is kind of being interfered in a sense. Not interfered. Every time he tries to go talk to Dr. Thorne, there is something there that is either um stopping him or is just unfortunately inhibiting his ability to interact with the good doctor.
Well, Nox isn't paying attention. Go ahead and ask.
No. When has Romeo ever shown that that's what he would do in front of other people? Come on.
um,
Meow. I know.
if
I was not
no
muted,
one,
was I?
no, if if no one is doing anything else specific, unless Dahlia wants anything else from Booker, he will try to go find Ramiel.
Oh, no, don't worry about it. Spending this much uninterrupted time with me would normally cost a gentleman something in the area of 40 credits, so you're quite lucky that I got to do some magic tricks for you and keep you company while you worked with Gizmo all day. Go on off. It was lovely, really.
Well, if you need anything, just let me know, okay?
Always. I'm very needy.
And he'll kind of slip off and go find. Oh, he'll go find Ramiel, I guess. Kind of peek around and take a moment till he finds him in the mess hall. Is Ramiel just kind of
Um,
eating?
yeah, so definitely the site would be just kind of him probably still in like the kitchen area. Just kind of eating a bowl of whatever he had made. There would be a single egg also sitting on the counter um that he's it I mean it's really weird probably to anyone coming in that it's just an egg sitting on the counter, but he has a purpose for it, I swear.
um, Booker will walk in. Uh, does Ramiel look up at all, or is he just focused on eating?
um I think for a moment his eyes would look up and kind of make eye contact with Booker, but then kind of go back to focusing on eating. Um, definitely, he seems in so in the moment at the tether. Definitely, Ramiel had a very different kind of softness in his eyes. There was definitely a different kind of expression from him. If anything, that is probably the weirdest you've seen Ramiel. This would be back to the normal kind of behavior you would be used to with Ramiel.
Mhm. Um, I think Booker, seeing Ramiel sort of look away, he'll kind of think a moment, and then he'll make his way over to the kitchen. And then he's not really a cook, so I think he would like make himself like a really, say, I don't know, a sandwich or something, um, and make his way back over to where Ramiel is sitting, and he'll just kind of in front of him, he'll just go, "Mind if I sit here?"
I mean, there's a lot of other places you could sit, but I'm assuming you want to sit here for a reason.
Yeah. So do you mind?
If I say yes, will you leave?
Then I'll just sit in that seat. And he points to like the seat right next to you instead of the one across from you.
Then no.
Oh, great. I'm so glad you don't mind. And he'll take a seat in front of you. And he'll just like quietly eat for a little bit. Um, and then he'll kind of set his food down and look back up and he'll say, um, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm fine.
Insight check.
Okay. um,
Garbage. It was a 9.
it's not impossible. Um, and this is me internally trying to debate which one to use.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go with deception.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't seem like he's lying.
Yeah. Um, you seem pretty worn out after everything yesterday.
As one would be when you've ran an entire exchange, avoiding being shot, crushed, all of the above, and also expending as much of my magical abilities as possible. I feel like they would warrant being exhausted.
Yeah, about that. And his face will just kind of soften a little bit and he'll just lean in a little bit more and go, I you didn't need to do any of that. And I just wanted you to know that I was very, very grateful for it.
He'll he'll kind of his expression definitely would soften just like a bit, but not too much. And he would just kind of shrug. I mean, I still question why I'm even doing it or bothering. It seems like the only one here even remotely grateful is you. And well, and no offense to you, of course, you seem like the person that would be grateful for a person just smiling at you. So I guess I appreciate the gratitude, but at some point you kind of get tired of trying to help people.
That's fair. Is there anything that I can do to be more grateful?
Well, unfortunately, you still haven't even been able to hold up your end of the bargain. So
That's not
we're
my
sitting
doing.
on that.
I would just like to point out.
Unfortunately, yes, we've been put into situations where it has not given us an opportunity, but unfortunately, unless you can magically produce something for me, not much you can do.
Well, is there something menial I can help with?
Like,
I don't know. You got your chores taken care of, right?
oh, I have not been doing any of that.
Right, why would you? Um, I don't know. If you think of something, I want you to know that I'm not just grateful out of words, that I actually mean it. And I know that it's very much something that you did not want to do, and you did it anyway. And I'm just very, very appreciative.
Right. And he'll kind of take a deep breath, and he'll definitely avoid kind of making eye contact with Booker. I suppose I owe you a bit of gratitude myself.
Booker looks very confused. For what exactly?
When the Federation were asking their pointless questions and they opted to try to scan me with whatever their device was, you had told them to just ask me what I am. As much as I didn't have an answer to even provide. Unfortunately, it's not very often I get someone who just treats me like a person.
Booker, the confusion goes away and it sort of turns into like understanding, since this is kind of how he's felt in the last day as well. And he thinks for a moment and he just goes, "Cause I'm sorry that's a rarity to you."
It's a normality. At this point, I'm used to it.
But you shouldn't be. Because you are in fact a person. And fuck those feds.
Well, you might be the only person on this crew that might even remotely think that is a possibility for me.
To what? To be treated
But
like a person?
just to be even a person. I'm sure everyone here is quick to call me some kind of monster. Maybe I am. But at this point, I've stopped trying to care because caring, it really only does nothing but damage for you. So if you usually just take care of yourself, you avoid any kind of other pain that comes with it.
I mean, I don't think anyone on the ship is calling you a monster. I think they might call you maybe not nice things, but I don't think anyone's thinking that you're some less than a person.
Yeah, I might have in the most recent conversation said that you wouldn't follow me into a vent, but I wouldn't call you a monster.
He has his interpretations of things.
Yeah, I figured. But Booker's trying to undo that. Remiel, you have protected us, you have healed us, you've picked us up when we're down. I don't think anyone's thinking you're a monster.
But I'm also constantly reminded of how my opinions don't matter sometimes, and why would anyone want to listen to me when it's just consistently bad news? When, well, I mean, so far, everything that has happened that I've tried to warn about in some degree happens.
Can you give me an example of when someone said that your opinion didn't matter?
I mean, not per se verbally said it, but in actions alone. I mean, you do know the saying that actions speak louder than words.
Exactly, that's why I'm asking if I can do you a favor. But I would say that our group was less than cautious for the most part, and you did try to warn us a few times. And
Multiple.
you're right. Maybe we didn't listen all the time, but I think after this, I think he will heed your concern more so.
Hmm. I like a blind optimism, but I don't think so.
We gotta try, right? I don't think anyone
I
wants
will
to hold
do.
another funeral.
No, I'm sure that no one wants to hold another funeral, but does that mean that there's not going to be another one? Because a lot of you people are so incredibly in need of proving some point or holding some justice. Yes, I do think another funeral will be in the future. Quite a few.
Is that what your cards say?
I don't need them to tell me that. I can see it among the people that I travel with.
And he'll lean in closer to Ramiel and he'll say, have you ever considered the possibility that maybe the reason why you picture so many funerals is because you don't picture yourself there to prevent them?
I don't really care to prevent them. No one here
Can I
is
insight check
important
that?
to me. Absolutely.
It's a 13.
Damn.
Not the persuasion check.
You see, so the reason I choose persuasion is that
Partially it's true.
it's partially true, yes, and he really truly doesn't care or really doesn't want to um prevent these deaths, because again, if he is going to go out of his way to try to warn or like even here to caution, if people proceed to go forward into the danger, then he has no reason to want to help the people who proceeded to go forward, even when he said, hey, let's not. um Now in the situation where it's not true, is that it's been clear multiple times that he has healed the group. Now, obviously, the last time was definitely when Booker had asked him to, because he was going to choose not to in that moment. But it can be inferred that the reason for that choice, Hope, get off the water fountain. Um, the reason for that you can infer that the reason for that choice being made was that he is trying to quote unquote hold up his end of their agreement on being more trustworthy, and trying to trust in what Booker is asking or saying at a time.
Right. Cards, I have my question for the day.
Fine, what is it?
And I say this with no emotion attached. I just want the honest truth. Would you feel anything if I died? And I think when Booker asks this, his face is very blank. It's not. There's no hopeful look. There's no emotional look. It's very factual.
In that moment, Ramiel would look at Booker, because the whole time he's definitely been like avoiding eye contact entirely, like occasionally having like the occasional glance, but throughout the whole conversation, kind of avoiding eye contact. But that question does snap his attention to Booker, before he definitely redirects his eyes. Um, would I feel nothing? Maybe not entirely, but it's not because I value you as a friend or I value you as a person. I value you someone uh, as someone useful. I think that yeah, you could have potential for things, and if you decided to do something reckless and it got you killed, well, that was your decision, and it would be a shame, sure, but to feel nothing, not in the same way as I would feel for, I don't know, Val and Aaron, for example, or Ariana, Eliora. I have my peak curiosity on Dahlia, and I have my amusement with Nox, but if it were anyone else, you could care less.
Booker doesn't seem surprised and doesn't seem like hurt by that answer. He just kind of nods, kind of taking it in. I would feel something if you died.
As I'm sure you do with everyone else on this ship. I'm sure you would be the only person to attend anything and maybe say some nice words, but that's because you feel in some way obligated to.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not entirely wrong. But I would not. It wouldn't be empty words. I would mean them.
Are you saying that for yourself, or are you saying that to try to make me feel better?
Neither. I'm saying it as a statement. You can do with that information whatever you wish.
I would like to insight.
Yeah.
14.
15. He I mean, he seems really honest. He seems like he's being like very genuine.
Hmm.
What about you, Romeo? You got a question of the day?
And he kind of takes a look around. Well, we can keep it as simple as what is your favorite color?
You know, that is a complicated question for me because, I like green because it's not a color I've seen very much, but I like red and orange and yellow because I like the warmth. I like purple. I like blue. Don't see a lot of blue when I grew up. So I don't know. A little indecisive on that front.
Well, I could only tell you what 2 of those colors look like, so.
Which 2 do you see? Again?
Hey, if you want to count white as a color, I can also see a white. But mostly just use of blue and red from my understanding. At some point it all starts to blur together.
I like blue and red. And he'll sort of finish his sandwich and like put away his plate. And as he does, he'll turn back to Ramia one more time and he'll just go, Gods, can I ask you for a favor?
You're doing a lot of that, asking for favors.
You
Go
can take
ahead.
it or leave it. But would you come to the funeral tomorrow?
Why?
Just so that way I have a bigger audience, I guess.
Well, this better be a tear-jerking performance.
Sure. We can call it that.
It was a poor joke. I will not be crying nor have
I
any
didn't
need to.
figure you would. No. I just don't. It would be nice if you were there.
I'll think about it.
And then Booker will just kind of smile, nod, and put his things away and leave the mess hall.
Ramiel is just gonna kind of sit alone for a moment after all that. The eggs for Lucifer at some point.
I figured it was probably.
He didn't want to awkwardly pop out the ferret at some point, but definitely once Booker was gone, was like, okay.
No, you can have the egg. I think that's pretty much all Booker's gonna do today, unless Ren or anybody else needs him. He'll
Does he
probably
want to
peek
sleep
in.
over?
Does he want to sleep over?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think actually. Um, I think he makes sure with that Ren is okay by himself. Um, and if he is, then he will.
Eliora's nearby. She's in the area. She's very helpful. If Ren needs anything, I'm sure she's willing to lend a hand. Isn't that right, Eliora? She
Yeah,
responded enthusiastically, I sure.
sure. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah, if Ren's okay, then he'll come hang out with Dahlia that night.
What were your sleeping arrangements like when you grew up?
oh,
I don't know. I have my own thought, but I don't know if that's canonical.
your thought is probably the right thought.
Okay. Uh Stop me if this is incorrect, DM. Um Booker would say well, it was as a kid we sort of all kind of all sort of it was a group of us and we kind of all shared a room of sorts. It's not nearly as comfortable. mm, Mostly on the ground with like somewhat of a rug situation.
Yeah, that's about right.
Oh. And as you got older, did that change at all?
It depended on where we were. Um,
What do you mean? Did you move about in your? I guess I don't understand the day to day or long spanning time that you spent, but uh, yeah. Did you move about?
um, yeah, we would take ships and things every once in a while, and we had uh different things to do, and it was mostly bedrolls for the most part, and then bunks, I guess, sometimes, but it was always sharing rooms.
And since you've left, has it been inns and bunks and common houses and such?
Yeah, shitty inns and stuff like that. Sure. Why you always had someone nice to stay?
For a while, I did. In my youth, I was very well taken care of. Um, in the months preceding my debut as an artisan, it was trying to make friends with whom I could very quickly rely on their hospitality to keep me off of the corridors of the nomad Starklands. Um, when my ability to make such arrangements failed, the corridors it was. So there was a great deal of comfort in my youth, and then a quick and dramatic downturn. But I'm very happy to be decorating this abode that you will be finding yourself in for the night.
Dolly, can I ask you a personal question?
Please do.
And I think he sort of fiddles for a moment, sort of really deciding if he wants to ask a question. Do you have any parents?
I do. Yes. I know them by name and I know them by reputation. And I've spent very brief amounts of time in their presence, but am not in a state to disclose my location to them at this moment.
Were they good to you?
She puts her hands on her hips and like her eyes kind of roll and she goes, "Ooh. Oh, well, they ensured that I was well taken care of. But they did not do so out of the goodness of their hearts, but because I represented the their next generation. They saw me as an extension of as the culmination of their legacy. And so there was a hidden tag on every bit of hospitality and generosity that I received.
He sort of like chews his lip in thought for a moment and blinks back up at her. Do you miss them?
No, no, I wouldn't say so. Le- mm, I have spent maybe 10 days to 2 weeks over the span of my entire life in their company. A majority of that was in one burst when they took a trip to visit me where I was housed. And otherwise it was very, very brief pop-ins, very occasionally. I hold no particular fondness for them, I suppose. They're not who I would associate my fond childhood memories with.
Did you have someone that you did associate that with?
Oh, sure, a few. I I got along well with my classmates. Um, I was quite close with my physician and uh, and my brother.
You
Those
have
were
a
the
brother.
big two in my youth. Yes, I have a physician and I have a brother, and sometimes that's what a family is for a girl like me.
Or there's two different people, the same person.
They're different. um, uh, uh, Dr. Harper and my brother Carson.
Do you miss him?
Devastatingly so.
Is he still with the cult?
I Oh, Goats Booker, and she like her eyes squint up and she like rests her forehead on your shoulder. I'm having a lot of trouble keeping all of the info straight. There's a lot of secrets that I'm keeping for everyone's protection and that I'm keeping for the galactic hero's sake. And
Dahlia. He'll kind of pick you back up and just kind of look at you close. Never mind. Forget it.
no,
If
no, no,
this
no. I I really want someone to talk to about this stuff. Um, Carson is independent in his day-to-day comings and goings. M- Most of the time that I spent aware of the cult, uh, and was my later years, and most of my time with Carson was my earlier years. I am unsure of his level of involvement, if he's informed, if he's allied. Uh, I only ever knew him as my brother and didn't have crossover with that aspect of it.
I assume it's not safe for you to try to contact him.
No, no, definitely not. I'm certain even if he's not involved, they'd find a way to hear about it if I shed anything. Were you there in that crystal forest with the voices?
I was, yeah.
I heard Carson's voice.
Oh. I think Booker really kind of remembers all that happened and kind of your state. He remembers when that happened and when that happened you seemed to panic to an extent.
It didn't occur to me that it was a ruse. I I thought he was there and that one, he could have been in danger due to the nature of the forest, and that two, if he were in danger, I would have to expose myself and get in trouble and have to go into a whole new level of hiding or something. And so there was just this big, oh, what do I do sort of moment. In a perfect world, a reunion with my brother would be delightful, but the idea that he was in some way in this dangerous forest was what upset me.
That makes sense. And I think after like a couple beats, uh, Booker will kind of find your eyes again and just go, if we end up living in that perfect world, and your brother is in danger of some sort, I want you to know that I'll help you.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Gonna stand against the cult of Zetlio with aquamarine?
Yeah, why not? You deserve to have your brother.
I loved him, but I've loved other people too. It was great to hear his voice, and it's nice to reminisce about him, but you don't need to go taking on the whole cult just to see him again. What I wouldn't give to cross paths with, I mean, Dr. Harper, or, staying in touch with you. That's just as important to fight for at this point. You've been absolutely spectacular. You're the... At this point, with Valgon, you're, the only person who I've really had a lot of chance to it's hard to say be myself with when I'm not really myself with all of the everything going on. But
I don't think most of us are ourselves with everything going on.
is
But
I I asked this question to someone else and got a very different answer than I expected. If I may ask, is Booker Casey your real name, or is that some sort of pseudonym you've taken amongst the stars with a different name that you've not heard in a while associated with the Ashen Flame of some sort?
he takes a breath and kind of sits up a little bit straighter. The Casey part is just it's nothing. It's just a name. Just because I needed one when I left the Ashen Flame. I don't have any sort of family or sort of name or anything like that. So it's just sort of there. Um, doesn't really mean anything to me. Um, Boca is Boca's my name.
Anonymous, eh? Well, Mr. Booker, then. I was trying to sound formal with the Mr. Casey bit the other way, but
I mean, I didn't mind it, but uh, it's not really It was just it's not. I don't have a real surname, so it's just kind of. It's not my official one, I guess.
sure. You know, it turns out they let you operate all over the galaxy with just a single name. Hits the ear better if you've got a title, though. The Artisan
Yeah.
Dahlia.
Yeah, I don't think I want to. I don't think I want to find out what kind of title I have, but I feel like the Federation is gonna give me one. So
Oh,
if they up
Booker,
my bounty,
you... The... The kind appellations I could pin upon your lapel would astound, my friend.
he kind of swallows hard at that. I appreciate that. I think for me, I just feel like I'm trying to balance the scales. So I don't feel like it's extraordinary, but hopefully maybe one day it'll be easier for me to take a compliment. But I appreciate it.
You're going to stand against a star cult for me. You're spectacular and heroic and if
He, no, yep.
if there are scales that you're tipping, there's a tremendous weight that you've put in the good department.
He kind of chuckles at that and he says, "Listen, I didn't say that I would win, so words can only get you so far."
Hey, Aquamarine said that the measure of your character is not determined by your success, but by your intent.
I really hope she's right.
Until such a time as your measure is tested, your intent is all we can rely on, and it endears me to you fully, Booker. I'm your the ride or die arrangement that I have with Ariana so that I can weaponize her against the cult of Zedlia is a terrifying one. That I must support her in many harrowing decisions. But knowing that you'd be there in the fight, that makes me feel nothing but good.
Of course. You never left me behind, Dahlia, so it's only fair I do the same.
And I never will.
He looks a little bit emotional at that and sort of takes a deep breath and kind of straightens up again and he's just like, um we should probably go to sleep, right?
I'm gonna be in and out of sleep for the next while, but if you're about ready, far be it for me to stop you.
Is that why you need the sleep crystal things to keep yourself asleep?
Honestly, it helps. It makes my schedule more aligned with a lot of the other organic life forms. It seems like their cycles are more suited for one big burst. But the pleasant dreams are the bigger benefit, honestly.
Yeah, what kind of dreams?
It's a lot of times it's the stories that I heard about the parties that would happen on the fringes of the islands where I grew up. The little glimpses of them that I saw, the adolescent recreations that I participated in my youth.
Sounds nice.
I, I, I've been for a very long time chasing this casual, welcoming, relaxing lifestyle. This idea that to be in my presence, to walk into my domain, is to immediately have this blanket of comfort, this aura of relaxation, and of being welcome and being safe, and having that expanding ever outward, and combining with these, you know, hedonistic parties in with pools and music and celebrations, and the silhouettes of massive reptiles on the horizon. A lot of my
Sounds like
dreams take me there.
sounds like you had a lot of fun.
Oh, well, no. That's just the dreams. My uh that's all. That's not what that's not what it was like, really.
Mm. Well, if it makes you feel any better, I never went to any parties growing up.
No?
No.
Did you have many friends?
No. No, I did not.
Any loves?
Booker. Oof. There is a look on his face when you say that. And he quickly shakes it away. Um,
What kind of love?
no. It's like
Do you need me to roll dice?
uh
Or is it evident?
it's pretty evident. He
What's on his face?
it's very much like that is a very, very, very complicated question. Uh
Understood.
and he shakes it away and he just goes, "Oh no, not really, no. Um it was I was preoccupied with a lot of other stuff going on, so
I can be courteous to you in this moment and let you sleep, but you have to. It's your face. Surely you felt the look that you had on it when I
I
said
don't
that.
know. I don't know what you're talking about.
Booker, I'm being very
Mm.
generous in perhaps not asking a follow-up question. But if you want to talk about it, I'm here. And if you don't, then you can have a great night's sleep.
And he uh, kind of starts having a hard time sort of looking at you. It's a little awkward. And he just goes, I appreciate the courtesy. Not that it is needed, but I appreciate that. And I will uh, bid you good night, Dahlia. Thank you for letting me stay. Until sort of very, very awkwardly uh, attempt to go to sleep.
Absolutely. Much like the previous night that Starfinder had encountered, Dahlia gets in and out of sleep and just like softly listens to music, has constellations faintly, dimly spinning overhead, and reads. So if you don't sleep solidly through the night, chances are you'd wake up to find her like curled up around a book somewhere in the space.
Adorable. This second day, is it kind of the same deal? Is it kind of just or are we arriving to do the funeral?
We are approaching here. We're gonna be arriving here.
I think then uh Booker will just kind of, if Dolly wants to come, he'll head over in Knox's direction.
I'm with you. Hey, friend.
Yeah, his Nox still is just kind of standing here.
He's there. He has been there.
You've done a great job keeping watch. We're getting close now.
It's time.
Time?
It's time to get them ready.
Do you need any help?
No.
Do we need to bring them somewhere?
So
take them
if you
down?
guys take them down towards where the like the airlock is, in the maintenance hub, Gizmo will always show up, and he's got with Ironjaw with him, and he's got a couple of, he's kind of crafted like these space coffins. I don't know if there's a better word for that.
Is there a full coffin
Void
just for Val's
coffin?
mask?
Yeah. Don't really
Nice.
have a reason not to.
Yeah.
It should be noted, Dahlia wore a different dress. I mean, much like the other one, which was already all black. This one is all black, but she's also wearing a different, longer black coat. And as Booker had slept over, she will offer to let him raid her wardrobe to see if there's anything that would fit if he wants to dress for the occasion.
He'll grab a belt for one, and I don't think he changes much. I think he sort of buttons himself up a little bit more and kind of fixes his hair a little bit more, but I don't think he changes clothes. But yeah. Is the captain or any of the rest of the crew here?
Yes. So we have trying to see if there's an easier way to crack and map. There isn't. Yes. So we've got everyone here. We'll bring Ariana down there too. Nyx is in the doorway. She's not here, but she's here.
Mm-hmm.
That's also kind of how Ramiel is.
Are they standing side by side?
No, he's in the stairwell. On the way back up, but he will be standing there, leaning against it, arms crossed.
Booker will attempt to help Knox in whatever way he needs, if he needs help at all, or if he will allow him to help.
Same with Dahlia.
Yeah, and then he'll sort of lean over to Knox and go, did you have anything you wanted to say?
Yes.
Do you mind if I also say something?
There'll be time.
Okay. And he'll kind of step back and kind of give Knox the floor.
There are things that can't be fixed. They can only be carried. And this grief must be carried. The loss of my brothers will forever be with me. They say time heals all wounds. Neither time nor change will fill the void left. My brothers are gone. I live on with their memories, their pains, and above all else, their resolve. I send these two off with a heart full of pride and a soul less full. If there's anybody else who has words to say, please say them now.
Booker will first look to Zara to see if she might say something. Not the coffins on the screen.
There you go.
That's so sad. But yeah, he'll see if Zara's gonna say anything first.
Yeah, she does have some stuff she wants to say. She'll kind of look a little almost like surprised that people were waiting for her to say something necessarily, but she knew that going into this, she was going to be speaking.
Does it seem like she wants to go last?
Not necessarily, no. But I mean, she can wait.
If she doesn't seem like she's jumping, yeah, if she doesn't seem like she's jumping to go, then Booker will sort of step up.
Okay.
And that same like sort of stoicism that Dahlia saw in him is sort of returned, and he's sort of like straightened up more. He looks a little bit more I don't know, he looks a little bit more mature than he usually does. And he kind of has these papers that he looks at, and then he just ends up kind of folding and sort of setting down and looks across everybody.
Dahlia gives some encouraging hand gestures as his gaze passes over her.
Aaron and Val, I didn't get to know them very long, but I know that I owe them a lot. I wish I had taken more time to know them better, but I think I know them well enough to say what I'm gonna say. I never had a sister. I never had a mother or a father either. But I most certainly never had a brother. Val and Aaron loved their brother. That much was clear. I think to everyone aboard the ship. To have a circle like that, people who would lay it all on the line for you, who have all lived 10 times my lifetime. I can't even imagine what kind of bond that is. But I know something that strong doesn't die in death. They'll kind of look to Knox and give a little bit of a nod. Aaron was one of the first people who agreed to my pitch about all of us coming together as a team. He saw the value in us defending each other. And I am forever grateful to have fought side by side with him. Val, I owe him my life. He saved me himself multiple times over. I always hoped I could return the favor one day. And I'm sad to say that I failed him in that regard. But I promise I will be doing everything in my power to return that favor another way. I will do everything I can to protect Knox. Your brother is not alone, I promise you that. I hope, wherever you two are, you can be at peace knowing that. And he'll kind of look to the coffins and go, rest easy and well, my friends. I hope you find light out in the darkness. And he'll step back.
Does anybody else have anything to say?
I think Dahlia just nods solemnly and appreciatively towards Knox and Booker up there, giving their speeches.
Yeah, unfortunately, Ramiel would not have anything to say. If anything, I mean, it's the best thing he could offer is not saying anything.
Yeah.
Valid. Okay. Captain Zara will step forward and
If
yeah,
no one else is speaking up, I guess I think Dahlia might as well step
go
forth
for it.
and have a bit.
This is your
It
moment.
was
This is everyone's moment.
it was really nice getting to know Val. We spent a lot of time together and it was all really nice. I liked that he liked maps and that we could talk about them. It was better when he was here, and I'm sad he's gone. And he'll be missed. And so will Aaron. Thank you.
Booker will kind of give Dahlia a little nod, sort of comforting.
She'll step aside and nod to Captain Zara.
Captain Zara steps up and kind of pats Knox's shoulder for a second, just and kind of asks him like in a whispered tone, like, "Are you okay? How are you holding up so far?"
I'm fine. Let's send these two off.
Hi. She turns to everybody, and just kind of looks around the room for a moment, and then looks back at the coffins. I've buried people before. Too many. And every single time someone tries to pretend the dead were better than they really were. Looking at Aaron's coffin, she lays a hand on it. Aaron was a difficult man, hard to read, cold and calculating. And half the time, I'm pretty sure that he was one bad day away from killing someone that annoyed him. But when things turned ugly, she looks at everybody else. He never ran. He carried things inside of him that were the broken most people. And instead of collapsing under it, he weaponized it. I don't think that Aaron was ever looking for peace, but I think he found purpose here. And that's more than most people ever get. She takes her hand off the coffin and kind of looks down for a moment, uh, almost like she's having a hard time really looking at Val's coffin. But she does, and just kind of stares at it for a moment. Val barely spoke. Honestly, sometimes I forgot he was even in the room. But Every time things went bad, there he was, standing in the doorway, taking the hit, watching our backs. No speeches, no ego, no demands, just loyalty. I don't know what Val was before Aaron found him, but I know what he became. One of us. We all saw what happened back there. The Federation did not send troops. They turned civilians into weapons. And that means that they wanted fear, panic, chaos. And it worked. But we are not operating beneath their notice anymore. So, for the rest of a few days, we will get some rest. Mourn if we need to, and drink if we have to. Because once we decide what comes next, she looks out the hatch here. There's no turning around anymore. She takes a step back as Ironjaw pushes the cart forward, and he pauses to look back at you, Nox, one more time. Kind of silently asking if you would like to do the honor.
Nox shakes his head.
He says nothing towards you before Gizmo presses the button and Ironjaw pushes the coffin through the tube.
If Ironjaw is pushing one, Aquamarine will show up and push the other.
All right. As the airlock sucks them through the chute, you can see out the window as they kind of are launched into deep space. Zara keeps her head up as she looks around the room while Starfinder and Echo and Gizmo and everybody tries to put their heads down in respect. Ironjaw kind of just stands awaiting next orders, but Captain Zara kind of just leaves you all with. It's going to be a heavy amount of time going forward, but we must make it to the end of our mission. Not just for the riches that were promised, but to better every single one of our lives and to honor those who we have lost. It will not be easy, but if we are not together on this, we may lose more. So from this point on, nobody on this ship gets to stay half committed. Not anymore. If you're here, you're in this until the end. Now who's with me?
Yeah.
I can.
Hi, Captain.
Ramiel would nod his head.
Now let's go get a drink.
Agreed.
All right. We all gonna meet up in the mess hall,
Yeah.
get some drinks, and hopefully not be too sad next session. All right.
Can I insight check Ramiel's nod.
Yeah, if you want
Sure.
to.
It's nothing. It's 6.
I
Not
would
very
say
insightful, huh, bud?
You what?
I
You're
would
not very insightful, huh, bud?
No, I'm not wise. It's all the concussions, my friend.
I
It
would say
happens
even
to the
on
best
that
of us.
one, unfortunately. Ha.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. To the end. Absolutely.
To our end is really what it means.
For sure.
To our end is crazy.
Good funeral, guys. I think we hit it right out of the park.
That was absolutely craziness.
Sorry we didn't have any flowers for you, Knox.
They don't grow very often on ships.
Yeah, they don't
Yeah, sad.
Some really great scenes with everybody.
Yeah, this was good. We had a good time, I think. Well, as good as we could, given the
A good sad
circumstances.
time
A good sad
got
time, yes.
devastated.
at the El Royale.
Well, it won't be too long further for the rest of our friends to join us. Donnie will probably be joining us sooner than Wolf, but that's because Wolf has some real life stuff he is trying to get out of the way first. So
Copy.
we will look forward to seeing them soon. Planning for Donnie to, if he's not here next week, maybe the week after. But given the way he is going about already doing all of his character creation and stuff like that, it may be next
Heck.
Exciting.
Does that mean we're stopping somewhere next week?
week. Possibly.
Hell yeah.
Oh
We'll
boy,
have
that
to wait
place
and
we can get kicked out
see.
of.
Can we please stay here for one whole day? One whole hour, honestly, would be great.
That's a valid question.
Should I take 30 minutes?
Shit, dude, fucking 20 minutes. I'll take that. Oh my god.
All right. Well, that's all I got for you guys tonight. I didn't want to be too long, but I'm
Bye,
glad that
stream.
we were able to do all this. Yeah. Go ahead and say bye to stream.
Bye, stream.
Bye,
Bye.
stream.